Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's podcast. I'm Sophia, and I'll be one of your hosts today.
And I'm Mason, your co-host. We're really excited about today's topic. It's something fun and kind of special. We're talking about drum roll, please. Well, the drum roll itself.
Yes, the drum roll. It's that moment before something big happens, like when you're waiting for an announcement, or when someone is about to reveal something exciting. But what is a drum roll, and why do we use it? That's what we're going to explore today.
Exactly. A drum roll is when a drummer taps the drumsticks quickly on a drum to make a sound that builds suspense. It's like saying, something big is coming, get ready. You've probably heard it in movies or at live events when something important is about to happen.
Right, Mason, and the drum roll is often used to grab everyone's attention. Imagine being in a crowd, and suddenly you hear that fast, repeating sound. You know that something exciting is coming, but you're not sure what. It makes you pay attention, doesn't it?
Definitely, Sophia. It creates a sense of anticipation. You're waiting, maybe even holding your breath, because you know something special is about to happen. And when the drum roll stops, that's when the big reveal happens, like the winner of a contest, or maybe even a big surprise.
Exactly. So, why do we call it drum roll, please? It's because people often say those words when they want to create that feeling of suspense, even if there's no actual drum around. Like when someone is about to open a gift, they might say, drum roll, please, to make it more exciting.
Yes, that phrase has become a fun way to build excitement, even in everyday situations. You might hear it when people are about to reveal some big news, like announcing the name of a winner in a game. It adds a little drama, doesn't it?
It sure does. The drum roll itself is a simple sound, but it's powerful. It makes us feel like we're about to experience something important, even if we don't know what it is yet. And that's why people love using it.
You know, Sophia, I think it's funny how a sound that only lasts a few seconds can have such a big effect on how we feel. It's like magic. We hear the drum roll, and suddenly we're excited, even if we don't know why.
Exactly, Mason. It's such a small thing, but it has a big impact, and we can use it in lots of different ways. Not just for big announcements, but for fun moments with friends and family, too. Like when you're playing a game and someone's about to win, you can say, drum roll, please, just to make it more fun.
That's so true. It's a way to add a little excitement to any situation. And what's cool is, you don't need a real drum to make a drum roll. Sometimes people just say it, or they might even tap on a table to make the sound themselves.
Exactly. You don't need to be a professional drummer to create the feeling of a drum roll. You can even tap with your fingers, and it still gives that same sense of anticipation. It's all about building up to something special.
I love how something so simple can make a moment feel bigger. It's like giving extra importance to what's about to happen. And when the moment finally comes, it feels more exciting because of the drum roll.
Yes, Mason, and that's the magic of a drum roll. It's not just about the sound, it's about the feeling it creates. It makes people excited, it makes them curious, and it keeps them on the edge of their seat, waiting to see what happens next.
Exactly, Sophia. And speaking of feelings, a drum roll can also be used to create tension, like in a movie scene where something mysterious is about to be revealed. It makes you feel like, what's going to happen next? It's a sound that can work in different ways.
That's a great point, Mason. It can be used for fun, for suspense, or even for drama. It all depends on how it's used. And what's really interesting is that it's a universal sound. People all around the world recognize the feeling of a drum roll, even if they don't speak the same language.
That's true, Sophia. It's a sound that crosses cultures and languages. Whether you're in a small town or a big city in any part of the world, a drum roll means the same thing. It's time to pay attention because something is about to happen.
Exactly. It's such a simple but powerful sound, and and it brings people together in those moments of excitement or suspense. Everyone feels the same thing when they hear it, which is what makes it so special.
And that's what makes a drum roll more than just a sound, it's an experience. It gets people excited, curious, and ready for something special. It's a great reminder that even the smallest things can make a big difference.
Exactly, Mason. Whether it's in a big event or just a fun moment at home, the drum roll adds excitement and makes everything feel more important. And it's something anyone can do, anywhere, anytime.
That's right, Sophia. So, next time you want to make an announcement or just have a little fun with your friends, remember the power of the drum roll. It might be short, but it's always exciting.
Exactly, Mason. You know, what's really amazing is how a drum roll can be used in so many different situations, both serious and fun. Sometimes, it's just a way to create a little excitement before something big happens, like in sports. Have you ever seen a basketball game where the crowd gets really quiet right before someone makes the final shot? You can almost hear an imaginary drum roll in those moments.
Oh yes, that's such a great example. The whole room feels the tension, and even though there might not be an actual drum, you still get that feeling like something big is about to happen. And then the ball goes in and the whole crowd erupts. It's like the drum roll was building up to that moment.
Exactly. It's the same feeling, even without the real sound. The anticipation, the excitement, and then the big moment. It's kind of funny how our minds create that feeling, almost like we expect a drum roll in those moments.
That's true, Sophia. And what's interesting is that a drum roll doesn't just belong in entertainment or sports. It's used in everyday life too. Like when someone is about to tell you a secret or reveal something important, they might say, "Drum roll, please," even if they're just talking in a conversation.
Yes, that's a great point, and it's not always about big, serious moments. Sometimes people use the phrase just to make something more fun. For example, when you're about to open a present, someone might say, "Drum roll, please," just to build up that little bit of excitement. It's a playful way to make things more interesting.
Exactly, and it's amazing how that simple phrase has become such a fun part of our language. You don't even need a drum to make people feel excited. Just saying the words "drum roll, please" is enough to create that feeling of anticipation.
Yes, and it's not just the words, it's also the way people say it. Have you noticed how people usually say "drum roll, please" in a slower, more dramatic way? It's like they're stretching out the moment to make it even more suspenseful. It's all part of the fun.
Oh, definitely. It's almost like you can hear the imaginary drum roll when someone says it that way. They're drawing you in, making you wonder what's going to happen next. And then, when they finally reveal the surprise, it feels even more exciting because of that little build-up.
Exactly, Mason. It's like a little piece of theater in our everyday lives. And what's cool is that anyone can do it. You don't need to be a musician or an actor to create that moment of suspense. Just saying those magic words, "drum roll, please," makes everything feel a little more special.
And that's why it's such a great tool for building excitement, whether you're on stage, at a party, or just having fun with your friends. It's such a simple thing, but it adds a lot of joy and anticipation to any situation.
Exactly. It's one of those things that brings people together. Everyone loves that moment of suspense, and when you add a drum roll, real or imaginary, it just makes everything feel more fun. Even in something as simple as playing a game or making a small announcement.
That's right, and it doesn't matter how old you are either. Kids love it, adults love it. Everyone gets into the moment when there's a drum roll. It's a way to add a little excitement and bring people closer, no matter the situation.
Yes, and it's funny how sometimes people will even tap their fingers on the table to create their own drum roll, just to add to the fun. It's such a natural thing to do, and it's something we can all participate in.
You're so right, Sophia. Whether it's tapping your fingers or just imagining the sound, the effect is the same. It's all about building that anticipation and creating a little moment of excitement before something big happens.
Exactly, Mason. And that's why the drum roll has been around for so long. It's a simple sound, but it has the power to create a big reaction. It's not just noise, it's a signal that something important or exciting is about to happen.
That's what makes it so timeless. Even though technology has changed and we have all these different ways of creating sound effects, the drum roll is still one of the best ways to get people excited.
Absolutely. It's like an old friend that's always there when you need a little extra excitement. And the best part is, you don't need any fancy equipment to make it happen. Just a few words or a quick tap on a table, and you've got yourself a drum roll.
That's true. And sometimes the simplest things are the best, right? It doesn't need to be complicated to be fun or to make an impact.
Exactly, Mason. It's the little things that often make the biggest difference. And the drum roll is a perfect example of that. It's simple, but it has the power to turn any moment into something special.
Exactly, Sophia. It's really the simple things, like a drum roll, that can turn ordinary moments into something special. I think what's interesting is how a drum roll works in so many different cultures, not just here. All over the world, people use drum beats to create excitement, whether it's in celebrations, rituals, or performances.
Yes, that's true. Mason, the idea of building suspense through rhythm is something that almost everyone can relate to. It doesn't matter where you're from, drums are a part of so many traditions. In some places, they use drums to announce the beginning of a ceremony or to signal something important is about to happen.
Exactly. Like in African cultures, drums play such an important role in storytelling and communication. They're used to convey messages, to gather people, and of course, to create that same kind of anticipation we've been talking about. It's like the drum roll's purpose is universal, creating excitement and focus in the moment.
Absolutely, and it's fascinating how drums, or even the concept of a drum roll, have become symbols of anticipation in so many different ways. From ancient times until now, people have used rhythm and sound to grab attention and prepare people for what's next.
Right, and you know what else is cool? It's not just in formal events or ceremonies that drum rolls appear. Even in things like cartoons and TV shows, the drum roll is everywhere. You've got those moments where a character is about to reveal something important or funny, and they play that classic drum roll sound. It's kind of like a way to say, get ready, here comes something big.
Yes, I love that. It shows that the drum roll isn't just serious, it can be fun too. It's often used in a playful way to make people laugh or to add a little extra excitement to a joke. Even in everyday conversations, people use it to make a moment feel more important or just to make things more fun.
Exactly. And that's what makes the drum roll so versatile. It can be used in serious moments, in funny moments, and everything in between. Whether it's a grand opening of an event or just someone trying to build suspense before they announce what's for dinner, the drum roll fits in everywhere.
And it's amazing how even just tapping your hands or making the sound with your mouth can create the same effect, right? You don't always need a real drum to make people feel that excitement. It's like we're wired to respond to that rhythm, no matter how it's created.
That's so true, Sophia. Even a simple drum roll sound we make ourselves, like going drer, can have the same impact as a real drum. It's that rhythm that gets our attention and tells us something's about to happen. It doesn't have to be fancy or complicated. Just that little bit of suspense makes all the difference.
Exactly, and I think that's what makes it so special. It's not about the actual sound, it's about what it represents: the build-up, the excitement, the anticipation. Whether it's a big event or just a fun moment between friends, the drum roll adds that extra something to the experience.
Yes, and I think that's why we'll always have drum rolls in one form or another. There's such a simple way to create excitement, and it's something everyone understands. It brings people together in that shared moment of suspense, no matter what's coming next.
That's a great way to put it. Mason, the drum roll is like a universal language, in a way. It doesn't matter what's happening or who's involved. Everyone knows what it means when they hear that build-up. It's like we're all in on the moment together, waiting for the big reveal.
Exactly, and that's what makes it timeless. We can use it in different ways, in different settings, and it always works. It's one of those things that never gets old. Whether it's in a concert, a movie, or just around the dinner table, the drum roll will always be a fun and exciting way to create a little bit of suspense.
Yes, and I love that it's so adaptable. You can have a big, dramatic drum roll at a concert, or a silly, playful one with your friends, and both have the same effect. It's all about creating that moment where everyone is waiting for something special to happen.
Exactly, and that's why people keep coming back to it. The drum roll has a way of making even the simplest moments feel like a big deal. It's that little touch that turns an ordinary moment into something memorable.
Exactly, Mason. It's that little touch that makes everything feel special. You know, I think part of why the drum roll works so well is because it creates a shared moment. Everyone is waiting, listening, and wondering what's going to happen next. It builds this connection between people, even if they don't know each other.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Sophia. It brings everyone into the same moment. Whether you're watching a performance or just sitting at home with friends, the drum roll creates a kind of tension that everyone shares.
Right, and I think that's why it's such a common tool in entertainment. It doesn't just prepare the audience for something exciting, it also pulls them in and makes them feel like they're part of the experience. They're not just watching, they're waiting with you, feeling that anticipation.
Absolutely, it creates a sense of unity. Everyone's on the edge of their seat together. And when that big moment finally arrives, whether it's a punchline, an announcement, or a reveal, it feels more powerful because everyone's been holding their breath for it.
Exactly. And you know, the drum roll isn't just about the sound, it's also about the silence that comes before the big reveal. That moment when the drum roll stops, and there's this tiny pause before the announcement. It's like that silence is just as important because it's the calm right before everything happens.
That's a really good observation, Sophia. Sometimes it's the quiet right after the drum roll that makes the moment even more exciting. It's like your brain knows something big is coming, and that little pause builds even more suspense.
Yes, it's like that pause is the final step before the surprise. It gives the audience just enough time to take a breath, and then, boom, the moment happens. I think that's part of the magic of the drum roll, the way it plays with sound and silence together.
Exactly, and I think that's what makes it such a versatile tool. You can use it in so many different situations, whether it's to introduce something serious or something silly. It's all about how you build up to that moment.
Definitely, and it's amazing how such a simple thing like a drum roll can create such a big effect. I think it shows how much we, as humans, love that sense of anticipation. We enjoy the feeling of not knowing what's coming but being excited about it.
That's true. Anticipation is something we experience in so many areas of life, not just with drum rolls. Think about it when we're waiting for something important, like exam results, or even something fun like a birthday present. That buildup of suspense makes the moment more memorable.
Exactly. It's that sense of waiting and wondering that makes the final reveal feel so much bigger. And the drum roll, in a way, is a symbol of that. It's a way to express that feeling of something exciting is about to happen.
Yeah, and that's why it works so well in entertainment, too. Whether it's in movies, TV shows, or live performances, the drum roll adds that extra layer of excitement. It's like a promise to the audience that something great is just around the corner.
Absolutely. And it doesn't even have to be an actual drum roll. Sometimes, just the idea of building anticipation can have the same effect. Like when you're telling a story and you pause at just the right moment, you create that same sense of suspense without any sound at all.
That's so true. Sometimes it's about how you tell the story or how you deliver the news. You don't always need a drum to create that feeling. Just knowing when to pause or when to slow down your words can build that same kind of excitement.
Exactly. It's all about timing and creating that moment where everyone is waiting for what's next. Whether it's a joke, a surprise, or an announcement, it's the build-up that makes the reveal feel so much bigger.
And I think that's what we love about the drum roll, right? It's not just the sound, it's the feeling it creates. It's that shared moment of suspense, the excitement of not knowing, but being ready for whatever's coming.
Yes, that's what makes it so special. The drum roll is a tool that brings people together in that shared moment of anticipation. And when the moment finally comes, it feels like a celebration because you built up to it together.
Exactly, and that's why it works in so many different situations. Whether it's formal or fun, the drum roll is always a way to say, get ready, something big is about to happen. And I think that's why it's something we'll always use, it just works.